Hey everybody, it's George Foshin, called Realty Best Palos Verdes Homes. And guess what? It's November 1st. It's time for the November real estate market report. And if you've been watching these videos for any measure of time, you know that what I focus on is measurable, objective facts. Measurable, objective facts to understand what the market's doing and where it might be going next. Will the market continue to appreciate? Will the market correct significantly? Will it crash? What will happen? And to answer that question with any degree of credibility, we have to look at supply and demand. And if we look at those numbers, if we can measure them, if they're objective and fact-based, which they are, then we know that we can rely on the conclusions we reach. Not that anyone has a crystal ball, but at least we know that we're dealing with reasonable conclusions that have credibility. So what is supply and what is demand? In the real estate world, supply is the number of new listings that come to the market. And that's my dog. I don't know if you can hear her. Funka, quiet, quiet. I'll feed you in a minute. And demand is the number of pending sales that go into escrow. That's the measure. And we can't just look at one and not the other. We have to look at both and how they interact with one another. So to that point, let me share my screen and I'll show you what I'm talking about. When you go to palosverdeshomesbest.com, let's minimize these for the moment. What you want to do is go to my blog and you want to look for this article right here. And depending on when you visit my site, it might be in a different area. Oh, by the way, make sure you click on these tiles right here. These are terrific properties. Golf course, ocean view, English cottage, Lanada Bay with a huge backyard, meticulously maintained home. This is 2.5 years new. You won't find a property for this kind of price anywhere in the South Bay that's newish. You got to look at this property. Well, all of them. I mean, this one's incredible too. Anyway, let's get to it here, okay? I digressed. Sorry. There's lots of great articles that I put out there. All right. So you're going to see these charts. You can go into them a little bit later, but it's the table that I want to focus in on right now. By the way, when you register on my site, and you can contact me up here, this contact us button, and go ahead and do that. And then click here to contact George. Just fill in the information here, your name, first name, last name, cell phone number, email address. And when you do that, then you'll get access to some proprietary data that I have that is highly predictive about where the market is going. Don't know why it's freezing like that, but if it does, just contact me down here. Alrighty, that should resolve itself. And I'm not in a great internet area, so that might be the case. All right, so let's go back to the blog, and let's go back to this page, and let's go down to the table. There we go. So let's take the Palos Verdes estates first. I compare 2 equal 6-month periods of time, and that way I'm taking seasonality out of the equation. In this case, May 1st, 2022 through October 31st, 2022, in the same 6-month span for this year. And I compare the two time periods. And as we can see, listing volume jumped enormously, almost 24% increase in supply. Demand increased too. And if you look at just demand, you're going to miss the real picture. Demand increased too, almost 15%. But because supply increased more than demand, the market's ability to absorb inventory weakened by around between 7 and 8%. So that's really important. If you're looking to make an offer on a property or looking to sell a property, you've got to take these facts into consideration so that you don't lose money. And if you ignore it, trust me, you're going to lose money. but it's really fascinating to see that different areas respond differently with supply and demand numbers. If we look at the Palos Verdes Peninsula as a whole, you'll notice I'm going to be going from micro to macro to even bigger macro. But for the peninsula as a whole, yeah, supply dropped, demand dropped about the same. So there was really an insignificant difference in how the market responded to supply and demand factors in terms of its ability to absorb inventory through sale activity. We wouldn't expect things to change that much in the following next few weeks, months with these kind of numbers. We might expect some changes here because of the differential between supply and demand. But for the peninsula as a whole, no. And what's even more interesting is that we go into a macro market, the entire South Bay, Manhattan, Hermosa, Redondo, Torrance, San Pedro, the peninsula. We see that supplies dropped significantly, 17%. Demand dropped too, but at half the level that supplies did. So in fact, the market is more able to absorb inventory through sale activity. The market is stronger, more in favor of sellers for the greater South Bay, more balanced for the peninsula as a whole, and slightly favoring buyers for Palos Verdes estates. And then I do Rancho Palos Verdes, pretty much on balance here. And I do Rolling Hills estates. Interesting, big drop in supply, big drop in demand, but not as much as supply. And the big winner here is the city of Rolling Hills behind the gates. Only a 7% drop in supply, but a 33% increase in demand. What do you think that's going to do to prices moving forward in Rolling Hills? So that's how you interpret the data. Now, what I'm not showing here in these charts is some highly proprietary information that I've developed over my 43 years in this business that has saved my investors millions of dollars and made them a lot of money too, because it's a timing thing using supply demand metrics in a way that other brokers don't do. That's proprietary to my own methodology. And if you want access to this to see the bigger trends and when the market's going to turn, all you have to do is just contact us here or through my phone down here or through the Calendly link down here. There's multiple ways to get a hold of me. Last two things. Do you want to get a HomeBot report? There's lots of home value algorithms out there. This is one of the more accurate ones. There's two quick videos that you can play first before you sign up. And remember, whenever you sign up for any of my web-based services, your information stays private. It is never sold or shared. Unlike those big portals, you know which ones I'm talking about. You can go on them and search homes, but they're not charities. They don't do it for free. You don't pay them money, but they make you pay because they data mine your computer and your mobile devices. They scrape your personal contact information and your search patterns, and they sell that to their advertisers. Is that the relationship you want with how you want to interact with business, giving up your information like that? I don't think so. Use my site instead. It's very, 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 very robust. You can, let's minimize the screen just a tiny bit. For example, you can go into Palos Verdes Estates, really any area from San Francisco to San Diego, east to San Bernardino and Riverside and everything in between. And you can search for literally hundreds of different search filters, sold properties, pending sales, all these different search filters that you can use. For example, maybe maybe you want to look, I could go on forever here, so I don't want to completely bore you. So just explore, pick it around. You'll see what you can do, and I think you're going to enjoy the platform a whole bunch. All right, that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Let's end this little video, and I'll see you out there. Talk to you soon. Bye.